I am Carone Bailey, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, here with you tonight to share another project from the annual catalog as we case the 2022 2023 Stampin' Up annual catalog. Let me take a moment before we continue. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you are not a current subscriber. For those of you that are, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I really, really appreciate you. And please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Guys, if you like any of the products that I'm sharing with you this evening, please feel free. You can always shop on my online store at www.sweetsignatures.stampinup.net. If you do shop on my online store and your order is $149 or less, please use the current host code NP29 SEUR, as this gets you into the drawing to receive the prize giveaway drawing to receive a prize from me at the end of the month, just for shopping in my online store, attending my class, or participating in any one of the events that I have. If your order happens to be more than $149, $150 or more, please do not use this host code. If you can, contact me or just place your order directly online. You are entitled to the host benefits for your order, and in order for me to give you that, please don't use this host code. I want you to be able to get your benefits. If you do need to reach me or contact me for any reason whatsoever, here is my email address. Please go ahead and feel free to contact me. Okay, tonight we are going to feature the Glad We're Here stamp set in the annual catalog, and it is found on page 51. It is item number 158787. It is a $21 stamp set, and it is a cling mount stamp set. You guys, let's go dig right in. Let's go have a little bit of fun as we go ahead and create this card. There's only two card images here, so we're gonna go ahead and create these cards. I am gonna take some poetic license with this, whether it be changing the colors just a little bit. We are definitely going to be utilizing the stamps and the different colors. Let me share with you the products that we are going to be using tonight. Let's put this away right here. We are going to be using a piece of Sahara sand cardstock, and I chose to use the hamburger fold, which means it's a top fold card. That's what I'm going to go with. Or you can open it this way. Either way works well. You are going to need some basic white cardstock here. You are going to also need some stamp sets. Here is the Glad We're Friends stamp set. Again, oh, I love these animals. They're so cute. Where the basket seems to me like the basket from Cheerful Basket, so we're going to use this guy. And in the upcoming January to April mini catalog, the hand-drawn dots, I'm going to use this, and it's not going to be exact, but I'm going to use it to create the background for this card right here. Okay, so we're gonna get started, and we're gonna start with this guy first. So let's get started. Let's put all of this away. I don't think I put my stamps. Let's see. All right, so I am pre-recording this Case the Catty. I will be on vacation from December 1st through, and I'm back. I'm on a cruise, and I'm back in the USA. I'm back at home on December 13th. And so I just wanted to make sure that you guys were able to continue to see the videos as scheduled. So here we go. This is going to be our first project for tonight, and we're going to need this. And we're gonna grab our ink and we're gonna stamp. And we're gonna use Memento Black because we do need to, I'm going to color in with alcohol markers. And so I need to get some Memento Black. Okay. This is a photopolymer stamp set. I'm sorry, a cling mount stamp set. And we're going to place, it doesn't really matter where we place this, but we are going to use a punch. I'm going to use one of the larger punches. So I need to make sure that I have enough clearance on either side for the big punch to capture the entire image and not cut it off. Okay. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000. Here we go. I think that's a good transfer of ink. And just to make sure, I'm going to heat set it just a little bit. And generally, you don't have to do that, but I just wanted to make sure that I took care of that at the beginning. Now, I'm gonna, while I also have the have it out, there's 3 images. I don't even know what this guy is, but there's 3 of him. So I'm gonna go ahead and stamp him out as well while we're waiting, while we're gonna do a little bit of coloring. Grab one of my paper pumpkin. And we're going to need about 3 of them. So we're just going to go ahead and stamp 3 of them out and let them sit until we're ready to make that card. And again, we're going to have to we're going to end up fussy cutting this guy out because there are no dies that coordinate with this stamp set. So we are going to end up fussy cutting it. So I just want to take a little time and punch these out, let them do what they're doing. And so when we're ready for them, they'll be ready. They're fairly simple to die cut, to punch. So we're not going to spend too much time worrying about that. All right. So now that we've stamped those guys and we put them aside, let's get to coloring. Now, I think I'm gonna let me do a little testing of colors here. Grab my alcohol markers, and I think I'm seeing Cajun Craze. So I just want to make sure that that's the color that I want to go with. It's a little too peachy for me. That would work though. Okay, so we are gonna go, I am gonna go with the Cajun Craze. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so I'm gonna start. Usually I start with laying down my lightest color first, so that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Let me make sure. Okay. And y'all remember that I don't usually do a lot of talking when I'm coloring, primarily because I confuse myself sometimes. So I'm gonna try to see if I can figure out how to speed this part up. I'm still learning how to edit. So I don't necessarily always have the hang of it yet. So that where it seems like I need to add the dark. So that's also going to be where I'm going to add my outline, my highlight. All right. Now we can go ahead and start blending just a tad. Okay. And the one thing I do advise is when you're coloring with these stamping blends or any other markers really, is make sure you constantly rotating the tip or the nib. That way you're not pressing too hard on one side and you're kind of balancing out the use on the tip. It's also a great way, because if you just continue to use that one side, what do? You're using all of the ink from that one side and it's going to go dry pretty soon. And when I say dry, I mean just for that particular application. But it's a way of sharing and spreading the wealth, so to speak. Okay, we're going to let that dry just a little bit, and then we're going to go right back over it a little bit to blend out our highlights just a tad. Now his tongue is pink. I see his little tongue right there. So I'm going to go in and give his tongue a little bit of Flirty Flamingo. I think that's the color I want. Yeah, that's the color I want. So I'm going to give his tongue a little bit of Flirty Flamingo. Perfect. All right. Still drying. We'll let it dry just a little bit. I'm going to go in with the, I think the gray granite, the light gray granite. And I'm just going to highlight my fan a little bit. Give the fan a little bit of depth. And I want to color it entirely, but I do just want to highlight it just a tad. Just for that hint of color. Like that. Okay, and the last thing I'm going to do on the fan is I'm going to go in with the color lifter. The reason I'm going to go in with the color lifter is just so I can soften the ends, the edges just a tad. I don't want them to be like they just stop. I just want to soften them just a little bit. There we go. Okay, there we go. Awesome. Now I'm going to go right back in with the light Flirty Flamingo and see if we can blend out, I'm sorry, the Calypso Coral, light Calypso Coral. And we're going to try to blend down the dark Calypso Coral just a tad. I can see I've colored outside the lines just a little bit. So again, using my color lifter, I'm going to try to clean that up just a tad. I think we're done with this. So the next thing we're going to do, looking at the picture, is we are just going to punch this out, get a circle punch. Now, if you have dies, go ahead and use your dies. Just for the sake of being here tonight, I'm just going to punch it out. And I think maybe a 2-inch circle punch. Two-inch might be a little too small. Definitely a little too small. We might have to pull out the dies just to make sure that we get the right size. Okay, we are going to try a little something here. I'm using a 2.5-inch circle punch, and I think that works almost perfectly. Ideally, I believe a 3-inch punch would probably have worked a little bit better. But the 2.5 was kind of close enough, so that's what we're going to work with. Okay. All righty. So the next thing we need to do is we're going to take our card base, which we've already scored. Now I went with a 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5.5. But you can use any size of A2 card that you want that you would like to use. Typically, I do 8.5 by 4 by 11, scored at 5.5. But I decided I would try a little something different for y'all today. All right, let's go ahead and burnish this fold. Put you aside. Did everybody have a good Thanksgiving? Well, I ended up having some work done on my house, so my Thanksgiving was at home. That's what I did. I need this sentiment. I'm blown away. Let's clean and put away our stamps because we need to do that. I was talking to a friend of mine, and she's, we were all talking about our stamping styles. And you know, one of the things that I say to her is like, look, I have these piles that you don't even want to see what my work area looks like. Anyway, and you know, she's like, well, I clean up as I go. And I mean, I think in theory that's a great idea, and it's something that I'm trying to implement, making sure that as I go, I clean and not clean my stamps, put them back where they need to be, so that when I'm ready to move on to the next, everything is in place. Okay, so I see here that the sentiment I'm blown away is kind of just stamped randomly over the card. This is Sahara sand. I think I'm going to go tone on tone. So let's grab me some Sahara sand. And again, this is random stamping, as random as anybody gets, I guess. So let's just grab a piece of cardstock or random copy paper. And we're just going to open one side just to make sure we don't have any accidents anywhere. And we're just going to randomly stamp I'm blown away all over this card, the card front, making sure that we go off. And because I'm going to get here on this end, this side, and I don't want it to spill over onto the back, I'm just going to close this and do that. Again, you don't have to concentrate so much on the middle because it's going to get covered up with the image that we just colored. Okay, I think that's good enough. Okay. We're going to put this guy right here. But before we do that, I want his coat to shimmer and shine. So we're going to go in with our little wink of Stella. Add a little shine to his coat. All right, so I'm going to add dimensionals to the set. I take dimensionals out every single time I stamp, and that's what happens when you don't put them back. You can never find them when you need them. Okay. Before I do that, I'm going to go in with the dark Cajun Craze. Because it's what I have, I'm going to go in with the alcohol marker. And I'm just going to finish the punched edge of my card so it doesn't look so stark. Okay. All right, and then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp our sentiment on a piece of white cardstock. I'm going to stamp it on white. What sentiment did they use? Glad we're friends, of course. Okay. And we're going to stamp in black. I told you we were taking some poetic licenses with the image. And maybe that's what we'll do from here out is case it for inspiration, but always find ways to change it up just a little bit. Okay. Okay. I'm going to try to make sure I know what my measurement is on this one. I think I'm going to go about a 1/2 inch. Yeah, that's a 1/2 inch by 2 3/4, but I don't want that much. It's just too much on the other side. So 2 3/4, I'm going to take a 1/4 inch on that side. So I'm going to have a 1/2 inch by 2 1/4 piece for my sentiment, which means I'm going to mat with a piece that was 2 1/4. So I'm going to go 2 3/8. And it was a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to go 5/8 of an inch. Okay. I'm going to mat. I don't want too big of a border, just a little bit. But I do want to banner it. Line it up as best you can. Again, lining it up as best as you can. Then doing the same on the mat. Perfect. All right, now let's go ahead, adhere the sentiment to the mat, and then add that to our card, and then we will be finished with this card. Grab my glue. Add our mat. And we are just going to add this guy like so. So we need a piece of dimensional on this end right here, just a little bit. You guys, I have just started making samplers. I mean, I've actually just made one, but I'm excited to share with you making another one. And this time I'm going to use some of the designer series paper from the mini catalog and the products, not just the designer paper from the mini catalog to create my sampler. This, a little bit of glue. So, and we're going to line this up. So, perfect. What do we got to do next? Last thing, we need a piece of cardstock for the inside of our card. And that's going to be 4 by 5 1/4 is what that's going to be. 4 by 5 1/4. Add it to the inside of the card. And card base is complete. Except for a little bit of bling. And while we have everything out, from the limited edition stamp set, I'm going to add Stampin' Up! Copyright Sentiment. And I put the label on incorrectly. So I have to remember to always make sure that I put it right side up. Otherwise, that will be upside down. Then, lastly, add this. That part is done. Grab me an envelope. And because the I'm blown away is what we used to create our background, we're going to use it again. I'm going to use it again to design my envelope. And there we have our decorated envelope. All right, one thing, let me clean off my station because I'm not wanting when I do the next card to have the Sahara hand transfer onto that card. So we're just going to clean that up. Perfect. Last but not least is, let's find some gems. And we're going to put a little bit of gems on here, and I'm looking for my black gems. Let me find it. Okay. There we go. And I'm using the matte black dots. And there you have it, you guys. Card number 1 is complete from placing the catalog. So here we have this. And as you can see, I went with the Sahara sand. I did tone on tone with Sahara sand. This could have been crumb cake that they did. And I used Cajun craze to color. And I added a little matte, and I did color my fan. Awesome. All right, so now we're going to get started on this guy right here. And I am going to, let me color each of them. And those guys are in the grays. So that should be fairly quick coloring. This is Smoky Slate. And I'm going to go all over space is kind of tiny, so I'm going to use this, the nib end. I don't know what these are. These look like little hamsters to me, except I don't see a tail. They're all colored the same. Okay. HEB, one of our biggest grocery store chains here in Austin, or in Texas, really, not just Austin. Every year they did host an event called Feast of Sharing. Of course, it wasn't held during COVID, of course. But this year was the first year that it came back. And what Feast of Sharing is this huge organization, just kind of shows appreciation for the community. And they bring out, this year was barbecue, but normally it's a standard, turkey meal or Thanksgiving meal. And, with the turkey and the dressings and all that kind of stuff. And they feed anyone, really. Primarily, I guess, I don't want to say it's just for them, but for college kids who can't go home for Christmas, who may be by themselves, homeless folks, they feed the entire community. And I believe it was from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. yesterday. Well, not yesterday. When was Thanksgiving? Yesterday, on Tuesday, 4 p.m. through 8 p.m. on Tuesday. And I mean, it's a nonstop, feeding the community. It's an opportunity to volunteer. I volunteered before. Members of the military, my organization, or my sorority chapter would go in and volunteer to either serve or, clean, whatever it is that's needed to assist in feeding our community. It's an awesome event. And they're held in so many cities in Texas: San Antonio, Killeen, Temple. Because they have offices or franchises or whatever you want to call them, stores in Mexico. They even have a couple of locations in Mexico. So, they were out there and they were doing their part for their community and feeding the community, which is an awesome, it's just awesome and incredible. The logistics that's involved in planning an event like that, making it happen. As a logistics officer retired, I can just imagine. You have to know somewhat how, and because they've done it for so long, they kind of have a general idea as to how many people they're going to feed. Because obviously, because you're doing that kind of event, you really don't want to run out of food and not be able to feed folks that are coming. So they really have to have a really good handle on logistics in order to feed people. And then I'm just gonna make his little feet pink. I don't know why, but I am. Little ears, give him a little pink. I don't know why. I think I see the bottom of their feet and I think they're pink. There we go. Now we're just gonna cut these guys out. And I know I'm gonna try to cut these out fairly quickly so we can get on and making our card. And these images are just so straightforward that this should really not be that difficult to fussy cut. And again, if you're new to fussy cutting and you're like, oh God, I don't really want to do that. Fussy cutting is, once you get the hang of it, is not that difficult. Again, tip is to move the non-dominant, or the hand that the scissor is not in is the hand that is turning the paper. You're not turning the scissors at all. I find that when I use that as the method, I'm able to pretty much sustain the white border around, unless I'm really trying to cut close. And I'm able to make my corners really smooth and not, what's the word I'm looking for? Not like so squared, not squared. Just nicely rounded where they're supposed to be rounded. And by turning your hand, you definitely have a little bit more control about your border sizes. Go. And one more. Unfortunately, this is another thing that I tend not to talk through so much through it, just to make sure I don't make too much of a mistake and things don't get too far away from me. Requires just a little bit of concentration. Okay, so now all three of them are cut. Let's take a look and see what we've got to do next. So I'm gonna say that the back of that card, this piece right here, I'm gonna say this is I'm gonna go with let's try 3 by 3. And I'm gonna start there and then move, if I need to trim it down to 2 by 2, and that's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna go 3 by 3. Actually, before we do any of that, okay, we're gonna bring out our dots stamp set. I'm just going to lay that like that. And let me tell you, I think that looks like a Mango Melody to me. So I'm going to go with Mango Melody. As my color. And I'm going to ink the stamp up. Make sure I get good coverage. Then what I'm going to do is put this guy right on here. Then find me a little piece of paper. Then burnish to transfer the ink. Sometimes when you're working with background stamps, it's just easier instead of trying to find, or you pull out the stamp apparatus or anything like that. It's just easier to add the color and then add the paper. Here we go. I think that's good. Then we're going to just lift this up. Perfect. This is what we're going to use as our background. Okay. So now we're going to trim it down to 3 by 3. Yeah, I'm going to go 3 by 3. So we have this piece right here. And then we need a piece of white. And all I'm trying to do right now is clean this up. So this is 2.5. That was 3, but we're going to go 3 and let's go 3 1/4. Let's go 3, I'm sorry, 2 7/8. This needs to be trimmed a little bit more. So let's go 2 1/4. Let's see. Anybody just see what I did with my little colored guys? I don't know where I just put them. Well, I'll be dadgummit. I just trimmed all 3 of those and I can't find not one of them. Oh my goodness. All right, we'll figure this out. Because if we do it like that, yeah, this needs to be about 2 1/4. Perfect. I really have absolutely no idea where those guys went. I don't want to stamp and color them again. Oh, okay. Not there. It's not stuck on that. It's not stuck in here. I'll be dadgummit. I'm going to go back and watch the replay and figure out where the heck I put them, but I really don't know where they are. All righty. Okay. All righty. Yeah, we might very well have to stamp these guys and color them all over again because I cannot find them. All righty then. Now I'm really upset because I don't know. And as soon as I stamp this, I'm going to find them. The very minute I do that, I'm going to find them. Thank goodness they don't take that long to color or to fussy cut, but still. I am absolutely stumped. I'm going to color these really quickly because they have just absolutely disappeared. I've never been so flummoxed in my entire life. They are absolutely nowhere on the table. Okay. Well, let's not waste time. Let's just get this done really quickly. All I'm doing is outlining. Can't believe I'm having to make you guys look at this. Sorry. I guarantee you that as soon as this live is done, it's going to show up. Guarantee you. And as soon as I find them, I'll tell you exactly where I found them. I'll put that in the comments when I find. I can't believe it. They still have 3 more cut already for my next card, whatever it is, right? Okay. And then we did a little touch of pink for the ears. Okay. That's all we're going to do with that. I'm really flummoxed, you guys, like 100% flummoxed. Because those things are nowhere to be found at all. I'll try to cut these a little bit faster so we can get about making this card. Again, you guys, if you are not current subscribers to my channel, please subscribe, like, and share my videos. I have set a new goal. I would like to be at 300 subscribers by March 1st. That is my goal. I met my first goal to be at 100 subscribers by November 15th. And thanks to these you guys who are so amazing, I met that goal. So I set another, and it is 300 subscribers by March 1st. I think that's plenty of time, I think. And when I hit my goal, I always give a prize in appreciation for helping to achieve my goal. I think I gave, what did I give this time? Gave a set of handmade cards. I think that's what I gave, yeah. That's number 2. And last one. And then we'll go ahead and we'll organize this card together. We have upcoming in January, and I'm telling you, get it ahead of time. We are playing bingo. I love bingo. Make and takes, actual bingo, actual prizes. Our bingo games are played YouTube live via Zoom. You get to join me via Zoom. All right, so there we go with those. Now let's get this thing started. Okay. Oh, we got one more thing to stamp out. Let's do that before we get started. Clean and put away, clean and put away. I tell you, I'm gonna find those things. I know I am. They probably just got caught up in my sweatshirt or something, but they are just not wanting to show themselves at all. All right. And then we're gonna put this guy away. And then last thing we have to stamp is our basket. Again, I'm changing up my color schemes a lot. I have this piece of real red scrap. So I'm going to utilize the scrap. That's going to be, let me find some early espresso because I think that's where I'm going to go as far as brown is concerned, or soft suede. Let's go some soft suede. And there are coordinating dies for this again, but I am just gonna go fussy cut this. The image is simple enough that I can fussy cut it, no problems. And so that's what I'm going to do. All righty. I know, look at it, isn't that pretty? And really, because we stamped it on colored cardstock, there's absolutely no need to color anything. I have my eye doctor appointment next week. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait. My friends will tell you that I absolutely am going, in my opinion, I'm going blind. Can I tell you, I'm fussy cutting and it's like winging a prayer right now, hoping that I didn't cut too much or anything like that, because I really couldn't see it. So I had to give up. Before I started card making, I actually sorry about that, y'all. Oops. All righty, we are back. We had a little bit of technical difficulties going on there. But now we're back. We're going to finish this card before anything else happens. All right, so that's what we're going to do with that guy. So let's go and put everything together. And we're going to start. I don't normally do that, but I'm going to start by fixing this because we already know where that's going to go. About centered. And before I completely do that, I know I want this guy to be like that. So let's put this on here. We need the other one to go here. Like that. And the last one we have this one here like that. And again, I have not adhered the basket. I'm just using it right now as is to make sure I have placement. Then I'm going to add some dimensionals to my basket. But before I do that, I'm going to add a little Wink of Stella. And then lastly, adhere this here, like so. Boom. And then I think I'm just going to, I have a sentiment to put on. I think I'm going to do that. think one thing I'm going to do is I'm also going to add this like so. Maybe a little bit like so. And then like so. I think that's what I'm going to do. It's different. And I am just creating on the fly. Make that about 1 3/4 because I don't want that space to be too big. Then this needs to be 4 by 5 1/4. Just kind of what I think it is, right? Nope. I'm going on a cruise, you guys. That's what I'm doing for my vacation, right? And what I just decided that I was going to do is I got to make sure I have some thank you cards for like my steward, my cabin steward, my servers, all of those guys. That's the beauty of being a card maker, you guys. As long as you plan ahead, you can make sure that you are taking care of people that need to be thanked in your life. And I'm going to put this on here like so. I just didn't want to waste any of the dots paper background that we created, so I'm going to use it. Then I'm going to pop this guy up again. Oh, here we go. Remember I was telling you I was looking for my dots? Couldn't find them nowhere at all. Now I found them. And I'm going to put the sentiment on this one later. Okay, make sure that's straight. And that's even. There we go. Just something a little different. And then we're just going to put our sentiment on here. And then guys, this is done. Our case the Catty for tonight is complete. Here we go. Thank you guys for joining me for another case the Catty. You guys, I will see you when I get back for going back live for our case the Catty episodes. Thank you guys for joining me. Again, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share these videos so that I can continue to keep bringing you content. And I will see you when I get back from a vacation. You guys, stay safe and happy stamping.